just goes to hell in a handbasket and the market starts to crash. I'll be the first one to admit that I was wrong. Hey, what's up, folks? Realtor Chris Hall. Today I want to continue the video that I did a few weeks ago, and I was talking about the market and kind of what I see going on and everything. And I would, depending on where you are in the United States, you might be a little bit further along. You might not be as far along as Texas is right now. But I would say we're about 4 to 5 weeks into this. And when I say this, I mean the stabilization of the market. It's starting to move back to a normal market, right? And in the last video, I talked about how we're going to start seeing a lot of predominant news outlets just talk. Yeah, I got to adjust my seat. Bear with me here. Okay, now we're better. So what we're going to see is these predominant news outlets, they're going to use trigger words. Doesn't matter if it's left, doesn't matter if it's right. They're just going to use trigger words. They're going to use words like crashing, recession. They're going to reference 2008 a lot. They're just going to use anything and everything they can to paint the most negative picture possible. If you notice what I said at the very beginning of the video, I said the market's stabilizing to a normal market, right? For the past year and a half, 2 years, everybody's been complaining about how we can't sustain this. And now that it's starting to normalize, people are saying, oh my gosh, the market's going to crash. Here's the deal. We're definitely in uncertain times. And a lot of times in my videos, I always make it clear to say, like, this is what I think is going to happen. But there's always something that could be a complete outlier that we wouldn't anticipate. And we're starting to see some of those things. So I'm really curious to see what the market is going to do down the road. But here at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's me or somebody on Fox or CNN or CBS or whatever it is. It's all speculation. Like, nobody really knows what the heck is going to happen down the road. But to always try to predict the future, I like to look at the past. And one thing that is very, very clear is just because a recession might take place. And I have a funny feeling that the news outlets are going to say we're going to be in a recession soon. And if you don't know what a recession is, it's just 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. So if we have 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, I guarantee you the news outlets are going to blow their freaking lid and say, oh, we're in the middle of a recession. But here's the crazy thing. Out of the last 5 recessions we've seen in the United States, really only one of them affected the home values, and that was in 2008. And you have to look at what caused that recession. It was because of the subprime mortgages, and it was a recession caused because of faulty housing mortgages. So if we do go into recession, that doesn't necessarily mean that the home values are going to go down. And the reason why I want to make that a clear point is there's a lot of people out there that have unfortunately sold their homes over the past year to 2 years in hopes that the market's going to crash and they're going to be able to buy a home. And the reason why I don't think that market is going to crash is, one, inventory is still low. Homes are still selling fast. I mean, I have listings, it's hilarious. You'll put a listing up on Thursday, Monday rolls around, and if we don't have multiple offers, the sellers start to get a little bit anxious, So some of my listings are taking now, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, maybe just shy of a month to sell. That's still really, really fast. And it depends on the properties. Now, what I'm trying to explain here too is if you are banking on the market crashing and buying a home, I have a funny feeling you're going to be waiting a really, really long time. Now, interest rates I've heard are going to go up again. And I still think what's going to happen is the Fed is going to I heard they're going to raise it by 75 basis points potentially. So what I think is going to happen is the interest rates are going to continue to go up. And then they're going to realize, like, holy crap, we shot a hole in our own boat. Then they're going to bring the rates back down. I'm still thinking towards the fall, but my timelines have been pretty far off this year. Things have been happening a lot faster than I thought they would. But the good thing about right now, what is going to happen, I believe, for the next, well, I don't like to put timelines on now because everything's been happening way faster than I expected. But the things are still happening. But there's going to be a period of time where we're going to have a sweet spot in the market for contingent buyers, right? Now, if you by chance watched the video that I did the very beginning of the year, I said if you're wanting to buy a home, don't get mad at your spouse, don't get mad at your situation. If you own a home now, start prepping. Start saving up your money, start getting your house ready. Well, for that time, the time's now. Now is the time where the homes are still selling relatively quickly. Not relatively quickly. They're selling quickly. When a home is selling on average under 2 weeks, that's still really fast. I mean, my first listing I ever sold, I sold in 98 days, and it was a big deal. when I made flyers saying I sold a home for under 100 days, and this was in Grapevine, single story with a pool. I got a lot of listings in that neighborhood because it was a big deal that I had sold the home in under 100 days. So 2 weeks, folks, is still really fast. But what I'm seeing now is the market is normalizing. So not every single offer is going to be way over the comps. Not every single offer is going to be way over list price. Not every single home is just going to be selling for this crazy high price. And this is great. We just can't sustain this, 20 to 25% year over year increase. So right now, if you're wanting to buy a home, definitely want to take a look at those interest rates and understand that that is going to be a large component to you being able to afford a home. But right now is a pretty good time because I'm starting to get contingent buyers under contract. It's not easy though, right? You're still a weaker buyer. If a contingent buyer comes in and let's say they're putting 20% down, a 30-day close and all that good stuff, and then I have a non-contingent buyer that's basically doing the same, maybe even at a slightly lower price, submitting on one of my listings, more sellers are going to take the non-contingent offer. So just understand you're still a weaker buyer contingency. You're still a weaker buyer if you need a contingency, but you're going to start seeing more contingent offers get accepted. So there's a lot of good things that are going to come from this market slowing down. I don't want to go over all those in this video because I don't want this video to be too incredibly long. But just understand, the market is shifting. It's moving back towards, I would call just a normal market. And you're going to start seeing more contingent buyers go under contract. So as I say in all the videos, really try to focus on the positive. And I'm going to be honest with you too. I'm a really direct person. If the market starts to crash, let's say in September, everything just goes to hell in a handbasket and the market starts to crash, I'll be the first one to admit that I was wrong and I'll put those videos out. But for right now, I don't see that happening. So try not to get sucked into the negative news narrative and try to focus on the positive of what's going on in the market. And if you're in a position where you've been wanting to buy a new home for the past few years and you just felt like there was no way in hell you could get your offers secured, especially if you were a contingent buyer, just understand, now is your time. Get ready because we're about to move into that sweet spot to where some of those contingent buyers, right? There's going to be some situations where it might not happen. Another video. We'll save that one for down the road. But for right now, I'm telling you, if you're a contingent buyer and you have a nice house, might be a good opportunity for you to start exploring the market. But that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, have a great day.